Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make the best cheesecake brownies. I've taken my famous recipe for the best brownies ever and turned them into a cheesecake brownie delight, and they are going to be so good. Start by preheating an oven to 350 degrees and then line a 9x9 baking pan with parchment paper, and you can see I lightly greased it first so that the parchment paper will stick. Kind of fold the edges and tuck everything in there and set the pan aside. Then we'll move on to making our brownie batter. You'll need half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of butter, and you want to melt that in the microwave. Pour that into a mixing bowl. We're going to whisk in 1 cup of granulated sugar, and you want to use a whisk and whisk this by hand for about 30 seconds until it's nice and smooth. Then add in 2 large eggs and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and whisk that until it's all incorporated. Then you'll need half a cup of chocolate chips, and you want to melt that in the microwave. I just melt mine in 15-second increments until it's nice and smooth, and then just pour that in to my mixing bowl. I like using real chocolate and not just all cocoa powder because it gives the brownie a much better chocolate flavor. You'll want to whisk this in until the chocolate is well incorporated, and you can see it immediately turns into this beautiful chocolate batter. Last, we're gonna pour in 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and yes, you can use Dutch process if you'd like, half a teaspoon of salt, then switch to a rubber spatula to stir this all together. Then pour the batter into our prepared 9x9 pan. Just kind of spread it out so that the batter gets into the corners and is in an even layer. Next, we'll make the cheesecake batter that will swirl in with the brownie batter. You'll need 8 ounces of softened room temperature cream cheese. Place that into a mixing bowl along with 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. And we're going to use a hand mixer to beat this all together until it's smooth and creamy and starting to get fluffy. I mix for a solid 90 seconds. Then we'll add in 1 large egg, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and mix this all together until it's combined. I'm going to use a rubber spatula to kind of drizzle this on top. You can just create the top layer as cheesecake, but I'm going to swirl mine in with the brownie batter. So you can either spread this out or use a butter knife or a toothpick to start swirling this all in. The cheesecake portion still stays largely on top, but I love how the swirling motion makes it look when you bite in. Then we're gonna bake these in the 350-degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. You'll want to let them cool completely before you slice and serve. Thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow, and check out the rest of my videos where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. See you later.